none other than Mr. Ted Koziel. How you doing, Ted?
Great, Mike. How you doing? Good evening, everyone.
And this is your first game of the season, us working together.
It is. It is. I'm very excited to get the privilege and the honor to be up here tonight.
Oh, this is going to be a fun game. I'm glad to have you up here. You bring so much knowledge to what we're trying to do on the air. So it's wonderful to have you here. You're well schooled in so many different sports, whether it's baseball, it's basketball, it's football. You know all of the kids, or you have known either that, or you've coached them.
Yep.
One way, or in one way or another.
That certainly helps. There's no doubt.
Yep. So, and I know you know a lot of these kids.
I do, and we just got finished watching the JV game here between Plainfield and Griswold, and Griswold beat Plainfield 68-56. And for a vast majority of the game, Griswold was running 4 freshmen and a junior. So, I mean, there's a lot of promise out here. A very young JV team, but a lot of promise for the future. Plainfield's got some really good athletes on their JV team as well. And, the gym, believe it or not, there's been more people in this JV game than there has been, I think, for most of the home games combined so far.
Exactly. And, I think it's going to be pretty exciting as far as the varsity contest with all the people that are going to be here. I think the gym is just going to be absolutely stacked in here, and I don't think there's going to be much room.
Nah, and it doesn't matter what sport you're playing in here. If you go to Griswold or you go to Plainfield, it doesn't get any better than this for the students and the parents and the fans. And this is one of the high peaks of the season. Again, just like football. I mean, if you could be 0-9 going in on Thanksgiving Day and you win on Thanksgiving, and it fixes the whole season. I mean, I know it's early for these teams now in basketball at least, but it is Plainfield Griswold. It does not matter what sport. It does not matter if it's boys or girls or adult softball.
And the other thing, too, about Griswold Plainfield, it doesn't matter if one team's better than the other at all. They always put on a great contest. It's always there's always a little bit of drama.
There always is, a little intensity. And, whatever they didn't get out of each other in football season or soccer, their round 2 is coming tonight, Mike.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you about some of our sponsors, first of all, that make it possible for us to be here at Griswold High School or at Plainfield High School, Killingly High School, Wheeler, Stonington, wherever we go, Woodstock Academy pretty soon. These are the guys that make it all possible. Like, for example, East Coast Auto Sales. Dan and Mike and the bunch, they have a great dealership over on Route 138 in Griswold. If you need a used car, that's one of the places. Check them out. It's East Coast Auto Sales. Don't forget Mercer Monument Works in Central Village. When you need their services, they do monuments, headstones. It's one of those companies that it's like, I don't know. I mean, they're great people, but it's like, I need them, but I don't want to need them,
Yeah.
But they're wonderful people. Kristen and Graham Everson, they've been there for a long time, and they will treat you kindly and very well. And you'll feel like, of course, you made the right choice.
Yeah, compassionate individuals.
Yes, that's for sure. They run a charity through Christmas too.
Oh,
for kids. Yeah, it's
always nice to see people in the community doing things for the community.
Exactly.
That's nice to see.
Then there's the Burns Agency in Norwich and in Dayville. They've been a sponsor of ours for quite some time, pretty much from the very beginning. And once in a while, we have Archie Drobiak. We'll do a game with us here and there, mainly softball, because his daughter is a wonderful softball player, went through the Griswold school system and also through college, had a heck of a career in college. She was in D3. Was it D3?
Yeah.
Kristen, was it?
Kristen Drobiak,
yeah. So, and Archie has been a manager with Jay Burns in the Burns Agency for quite some time, and they sponsor us as well. How about this if you need a used car? How about GNS Auto Sales in Franklin? We all seem to have a little connection here,
We do.
with like Patrick Strain. Of course, he's got his triplets that are playing basketball, And he's a local business owner from Griswold.
Yep.
And of course, if you want to buy local, you want to sell local, and that's one of the things they do at GNS. So, and they appreciate the local business, and so we appreciate Patrick and his entire team at GNS for supporting high school basketball right here on SNSN. When you buy a car, though, guess what? You got to get it fixed. Sometimes you may not feel comfortable about your choice about getting it fixed, but there's one place that you don't have to worry about. That's Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold, right down the road from the Point Heroes.
The Point Heroes.
Anyway, Bill Perslucky and Jess, it's again, we're talking local business and supporting local. And, every time I've gone in there, you just have a conversation, and I've never felt weird. I don't know squat about cars at all. Do you?
I know how to turn them on and turn them off.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
But I've never felt weird. I've never felt, like I, was an idiot or anything. They've always been very kind to me. And I've been there many times. Advanced Automotive, Route 138 in Griswold. CNS Hobby, Toy and Hobby in the town of Plainfield. This is their first year supporting basketball right here on SNSN. Again, another local guy from town, Steve Winnick, who was in the Slater Mill Mall for about 20-plus years. And then he picked up his business, moved it over to Plainfield, and he's been there right on Route 12, right next to the firehouse, right up on Route 12 right there. So we'll get to some more sponsors in a little bit, but we're going to take a quick break. We got about 10, 12 minutes or so before tip-off. You're listening to high school basketball right here on SNSN. The Den here at Griswold High School. Mike Minarski and Ted Koziel going to bring you action from the Den. Griswold against Plainfield, and we're getting ready for that game. We're going to give you the starting lineups in just a few. That last message you just heard, that was, of course, we just mentioned them before. We're going to tell you once more about them. Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Go on and say hi to Jess. Tell her I said hello. I sent her an instant message the other day, and what? I got nothing. I got goose eggs from her. She's ignoring me. I got conscious. I'm wondering, is she mad? I don't know. But anyway, and Bill usually he hides from me because he's like, oh, geez. But anyway, don't do that. Bill is a great guy, and he's been in the automotive industry for many, many years, and he knows what he is doing. Matter of fact, the whole team there knows what they are doing at Advanced Automotive, Route 138 in Griswold. All right, so here we are back. We're watching the warm-ups between the Wolverines and the Panthers. We happened to see the Panthers last week as they visited Killingly. They played the Killingly. Well, we don't know what to call them because they don't have
the Killingly.
The Killingly Caves.
We call them the Killingly.
The Panthers fell to Killingly 56-43 in that contest. It was a very physical contest. It was like almost like watching about a Rock'em Sock'em Robots. There was even one of the guys on Plainfield, number 40. He got ejected by pretty much throat checking one of the kids from Killingly and knocked him down. But they left it all on the court, that's for sure. They all kissed and made up after, but it was definitely a high test game to watch, with Killingly coming up on top. So if you're going to go ahead and compare the two teams, Well, Griswold went in to Killingly and beat Killingly by the score of 55-52. And somebody that is near and dear to your heart had a pretty good game that night.
Yeah, Andrew Koziel had a great game that day. He told me after the game that his basketball season he needs to make up for some of the football that he missed, and he came out with a hot hand. CJ came out a little cold, but then CJ Matson got hot, and the two of them, I think CJ had 17, I think Andrew had 19. The two of them, the whole team actually put it all together. It looked like it was going to be a blowout initially, but Killingly's very resilient. They got his name is slipping me. It'll come to me shortly. The kid he can shoot from anywhere on the court and make it.
Blonde kid.
What's that?
The blonde kid you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I got the wrong book here because I was looking for the.
Yeah, his name will come to me. I mean, he's the kid is just a gunner and intense. Everything you need. They matched up very well with us, athleticism-wise. But even like today, Plainfield doesn't have this tall 6'4", 6'5" kid to match up against. They have a little bit of size, but Griswold this year they've been moving very well. They're running the court, and it seems as if they are at their best when they're going 100 miles an hour.
Right.
They haven't been pressing much, but when they do, they're creating turnovers, and you've got 5 seniors that have been playing together since they were freshmen. They had a 38-2 record at JV over the first 2 years playing JV, and now, hey, it's senior year, and they're putting it all out on the line. I don't know if you guys are here for the Suffield game, but Suffield was almost an identical team to us, size-wise, athleticism, speed, and we just came out a little flat that day.
I was going to ask you about that game too. Did Griswold just kind of lose their legs that game?
We did, and I think it had to do right around the Christmas break. Maybe they got a little confident in each other, and I mean, who knows? It was a very low-scoring game to start, and what happens when the wheels come off. It sometimes is very hard to get the wheels back on. Unfortunately, they didn't. But, I think it was a good learning experience for them that they can't come into every game thinking, hey, we got 5 seniors on the court, and, we're going to light everybody up. They scrimmaged a very, very good Old Lyme and a very good Fitch team in the preseason, and they held their own against Old Lyme, and I think they might have even outscored them in the scrimmage. In the Fitch scrimmage, I think they lost by maybe 6 or 8. But Molesky was doing a lot of subbing as well, and to have it be that close, and Fitch is actually sitting at the top of the Division IV standings at the state at 5-0 right now. They're a very, very quick, athletic team. The scrimmages in the preseason prepared these guys to play that game against Suffield, but for some reason they just came out a little slow. I don't think you're going to see that again out of these guys for sure.
All right, just had I was just talking about one of our sponsors, our supporters, and told her how she was mad at me.
Who's that?
Jess Preslucky. Just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. She just checked in on instant message. She goes, I'm going to read it out. I don't care. I'm going to read it. I'm in Ricky Gervais mode right now.
All right, we got you, Jess. We got you.
So I'm not mad. I could never be mad at you. I'm very happy. I got to hear our commercial. Thank you. You're very welcome, Jess. But we'll do it again, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, it's Griswold in Plainfield coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and we will come back. And I promise we are going to be FOTUS doulas free today. We're not going to talk about that, which has been all over the news, about FOTUS doulos finally getting charged with murder in New Canaan. So that's the last you're going to hear of it. It's SNSN. Welcome back to the Den here at Griswold High School. We're just a couple of minutes away from tip-off. It's going to be a very important contest as far as, well, I think bragging rights, ego, and that kind of stuff for, but of course, for the ECC as well. But you got Division 4 against Division 3.
Yeah, so you that's
which
correct,
is a little
yeah.
weird.
It is
weird. Can you explain it?
Yeah, so the ECC, if you think back about 30 years ago in the ECC, there was two divisions. They had ECC Yankee and ECC Nutmeg. And, now with the QVC coming into the ECC, I don't even know how long ago, it got to be at least maybe 15 years ago, and other schools coming in, you have 4 divisions in the ECC in some sports. Some you even have 5. And it's all done based upon size, success factor. There's a lot of elements that go into it. And it's gotten a little crazy. But it creates a little bit of a competitive balance for some of the smaller schools. And some of the larger schools, get the larger school competition, if you want to call it that. But, it's... I don't know where they're going with this now, Mike, but, the good thing is, hey, the kids get 20 games in basketball. Everything works out great, and, can't complain.
That's it. All right, the teams are coming off of the courts right now. The warm-ups are just about done. There's about 15 seconds to go. You're going to hear the big, loud buzzer in the auditorium. And, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So according to the ECC standings, actually Plainfield and Griswold, this is a divisional game. They are both in Division 3 within ECC. They may be in different divisions.
CIAC. States are, Division 4.
CIAC. So in Division 3 here, you've got Griswold currently sitting at 2-0, 4-1 overall. St. Bernard at 1-0, 3-3 overall. Killingly at 1-1, overall 3-2. Plainfield is 0-1 in the division with a 2-2 record, and Windham is 0-2 in the division, and they are 0-6 overall. And honestly, that Windham team is probably the best 0-6 team in the state. They are athletic and physical and fast. We were in a shootout with them the other day. That 0-6 record is very deceiving.
All right, they're going to be doing the starting lineups right now. Guard Lucian Doobie wears number 0. Number 1, Jalen Ford had a good game against Killingly just a couple of days ago, last week.
Lucian Doobie, he may be the smallest kid on the court today, but I will tell you, he plays like he's 6'4".
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal young man. He respects the game, and, they're going to have to make sure they put somebody on him to lock him down. I'm guessing that you probably could see Chris Roddy on him tonight when they go man-to-man. Chris Roddy is probably, in my opinion, the fastest kid in the area. You're going to have to put speed on speed there.
All right, now they're doing the lineups now for the Griswold Wolverines. First, Andrew Koziel, number 1, comes on out. Chris Roddy, number 2. C.J. Matson had a really good last couple of good games scoring, hitting the threes.
I'll tell you, remember the old Michael Jordan commercial or Larry Bird commercial where they were bouncing it off the walls? You could put C.J. Matson outside the gym in the parking lot. He's still going to make a three-pointer.
All right, so to round out the starting lineup was Chris Roddy, Mikey Sims, along with that. So we are going to go ahead and take a quick break. In just a second, we're going to stand up for our national anthem just before tip-off here at Griswold High School. right, that's the national anthem sung by the Griswold Chamber Choir. They are not here live tonight, but there was a recording, but that certainly was them, led by Mr. Ray Churchill.
The infamous Ray Churchill.
Did I hear somebody just yell, Wolverines? They usually do that at the softball games, but I think Rick Aramoni is here tonight, too. You know, here's a nice story. Right before we start, I just want to go ahead and put this out there. The coach of the Plainfield Panthers, Bob Aramoni.
Yes.
It's amazing that he's even here.
Yes, I agree. Great comeback story for a legend in the sport of basketball, not only at Plainfield High School, but in the ECC and the state.
Yep, coming back from an illness. And Bob, congratulations on coming back. You are absolutely a legend. Here we go. It's tip-off time. Fort and Sims. Ball is hit right on over to Farrell Curtis. He goes radio right onto Chris Roddy. Takes a quick three. No good. I think he was just inside the line, but still no good. Matson comes down with the rebound. Quick on over to Koziel, who drives down the lane a little bit. Out to Farrell Curtis. Out behind the arc. Over to Mikey Sims. Back out to CJ Matson for three.
And there we go. CJ starting off just where he left off the other day. Perfect rotation. Ball rattled right in. Griswold jumps out to a 3-0 lead.
Griswold really had good ball movement in that first possession. Good and crisp, quick. Weldy underneath, a little give and go to Brady. No good. Mikey Sims comes down with the rebound. Koziel going to challenge a little bit, but Farrell Curtis for three. A little short, no good. And brought down by Connor Abram. Lucian Doobie at the point. You got to watch him. He's quick. He's quick and slick.
Yeah, so he can go left and right. So, they're going to have to respect both sides here. And
kind of an awkward shot by Brady. No good. Brought down. Here come the Wolverines. Farrell Curtis looking to set maybe something up here. Mikey looking for some space underneath. No good, but that brings it out. And there's Roddy for three. And in and out, no good. And the ball rattled off of Mikey Sims, and then I think it actually went off of Mikey Sims from Doobie to Mikey Sims.
Yeah, that was a close call there. It looked like it was knocked out of his hands, but nonetheless, the call is made and you deal with it.
So we're just into the ball game. Minute and a half in, one bucket so far by C.J. Matson, a three. Want to welcome everybody listening to SNSN Radio tonight, as well as watching on YouTube on the SNSN YouTube channel. Connor Abram for two, just inside the line. 3-2 ball game. Farrell says, I'm just going to take it. That's going to go absolutely nowhere, but right into the arms of Connor Abram. Doobie brings it across the timeline. Abram thought about it, but he drove the lane in. Nice little alley-oop, but up and in, but no good. And then Jalen Fort puts it in. What do you call that, an alley-oop? Not an alley-oop, but a double pump.
Double pumper. Get a foul on Andrew Koziel. That's his first.
Jalen Fort looking to convert the three-point play.
I think that last possession, Griswold was a little impatient. I think they're looking for, Molesky's looking for a little bit more patience out of everybody.
Nice cut to the hoop there by Chris Roddy. Bounce pass from Farrell Curtis.
And there again, that's speed. Chris Roddy coming out of nowhere, flying down the lane, and that's hard to stop. You're either going to foul him or he's going to get by you. There's no other option.
Koziel tried to go for the steal and ended up on the ground, but right back in it to guard Brady, who's trying to go to the hoop, was blocked, couldn't get past Roddy. Koziel picks it up, on over to Farrell Curtis. He drives the lane, puts it up, in, no good, rolled off to the left side of the hoop, picked up by Brady, trying to go ahead and get possession of it. Shoves it on over to Lucian Doobie. Fort to Connor Abram. That's two.
Looks like Anthony Franklin for Griswold's going to be checking in here for somebody. Nice pick and roll there by Mike Sims.
Ooh.
Fouled on the way up. That was a beautiful pick and roll. Sims sets the pick for CJ at the top, rolls off, breaks to the hoop. Nice pass from CJ.
Was that Jalen Fort?
Yes, it was. No, it was on Elijah Brady for Plainfield. That's his first.
All right, Franklin's going to come in. Farrell Curtis is going to sit down for a bit.
You know, Anthony Franklin injects a lot of energy and physicality into the game when he comes in off the bench. He's actually a perfect sixth man, I think, for this team.
He's very fast.
Very fast. He's athletic. And he jumps. Got a foul in Plainfield here.
Yeah, so it's going to go back to Griswold and Mikey Sims. That bucket's going to count.
You know, Anthony's about 5'10", but he plays down low quite often. He's able to jump and shoot and steal and move. I mean, he's a lot of energy here.
You got a lot of speed out there with Roddy and Franklin.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a beautiful move by Franklin. Unfortunately, it didn't fall.
He's had a couple of those this year. That's probably only the second one, I think, that hasn't gone in the hoop. It's the old tuck it like the running back and take it to the hoop and lay it up.
Doobie for three. In and out, no good. Franklin with the rebound.
That was an NBA three.
Yeah. Kicks it out to Roddy, who takes a few steps into the lane and puts a little floater in and up and good. Wolverines take an 8-6 lead, just under 4 to go in the first. Weldy getting double covered in there, but nope, got a shot off, but couldn't get it to fall. I'm familiar with Weldy, playing AAU. Played a lot of AAU ball last couple years.
Nice. Plainfield's brought in a couple of their subs.
Arriaga's coming in.
Yep, Arriaga, and you also
22.
had 24, Bryce Carchidi, entering the game. Good hustle there by Chris Roddy. Koziel's driving the lane. Fouled going up for the layup. Could be shooting two. And also checking in for Plainfield, 22 is Liam Smith. So you're starting to see some football guys checking in here.
Panthers' first point of the night.
You know, I think regardless of the score, I think you're going to see this ball being run up and down the court the whole day. I don't think there's going to be anybody holding back. I think it's just going to be bang, bang, up and down all night.
And there you go, over to Abram, from Doobie to Abram. They're going to count it.
Mikey kept his feet there. He would have been able to take a charge, but he slid his feet, which turned that into a block.
So it's number one on Mikey Sims.
The key there, you know, a lot of the times driving down the lane, the defender's there. As long as they're not moving, they're going to get a charge call every time. But
free throw no good. Mikey Sims brings it down. Connor Abram has 6 of the 8 Panther points. Nice move by Roddy to the hoop for 2.
See, Mike, and this is where speed gets you. I mean, Chris made one move, put the ball on the floor, 2 steps to the hoop and in for the layup. I mean, that's so hard to stop. This speed of the speed of him is just amazing. That was Bryce Carchidi from the corner for 2 for Plainfield.
It was a nice touch by Carchidi. Koziel tries to pass it off to Roddy, but it was kicked out of bounds by Connor Abram. 12-10, 2:57 to go in the first.
Anthony Franklin inbounds to Koziel.
Calling out a play. Senior controlling the, well, they're all seniors except for Franklin. Underneath, that Koziel gets fouled by Arriaga. Arriaga, his first.
So the key here, you know, somebody gets hot from Plainfield, somebody gets hot from Griswold, is making the foul shots. You know, one of the things I think the last 2 years, you know, I'm fortunate enough to do the book on the away games. A lot of times Griswold's shooting 50, 60% from the free throw line during games. This year, they've been in the 70s and in the 80s. I mean, they're shooting very well from the free throw line, which is making a big difference, especially in the close games that they've had of late.
And Dozie will get them both. He's got 4 points, all from the charity stripe.
Tyler Green checked into the game here for Griswold. He's a 6'5 junior. He's taking up half the lane himself. He is a monster of a kid, very raw at basketball, but he's really come along very well.
Farrell Curtis back in.
This summer, during summer basketball, he made some great strides, and I was fortunate enough to coach these guys during the summer league, because ECC basketball coaches are not allowed to coach their kids. So because I don't coach basketball, I was able to coach the basketball team. And, it was more of a supervisional job for me because these guys just do their thing.
Yep.
And, they've gelled very well together. And Tyler's really stepped his game up quite a bit.
Connor Abram just put one up for three, no good. One out of bounds. Wolverine ball, 14-10. And downtown for C.J. Matson. That kid doesn't miss from back there, does he?
I think we need to get him a blindfold and give him a challenge. He's the guy that you want to take with you to a professional game to do, the half-court shot for a pizza, which, by the way, we're missing the half-court pizza shot.
Yeah. I would like a pizza right now, though.
You know what? Imagine if somebody came to this game and said, hey, we're going to give Mike and Ted some pizza just because they're doing such an excellent job broadcasting. That was Liam Smith with the two. Followed up a missed shot by Plainfield. I think you got to be looking for your hot hand here.
Oh, nice pass! Oh, nice pass out to the 3-point to the right.
Gonna have a jump ball here. That's going to be Plainfield's ball on the jump. Get subs coming in now for Griswold. Mike Sims and Chris Roddy are coming in for
Andrew and Tyler Green. I want to say hello to Kyle Gunderman providing the video tonight on SNSNonline.com or, of course, the SNSN YouTube page.
We also got another, hopefully, special guest out there halfway around the world today watching basketball. Chris Matson, who's, as you all know, if you've been listening to football, is currently in Afghanistan, serving the country in the U.S. Army.
That was a nice no-look pass from Farrell Curtis to Mikey Sims, but Mikey got fouled. That was on Connor Abram. That's his second?
Yep, second foul for Connor Abram.
Then I missed one. Mikey misses the first. Griswold with a 5-point lead, 17-12, 123. A lot of Plainfield folks here. Nice to see.
It is. This is a packed gym here tonight. Looking good. Be nice to see us get this crowd all the time.
Full court press there. A little bit of nervousness there by Liam Smith, but they got it over. Elijah Brady kick it back out to Carchidi for three. Good.
Nice touch for a big guy.
Yeah. Carchidi's got 5. Farrell Curtis, Chris Roddy to the right. A little bounce pass in the end, and a little layup and in for Farrell Curtis, his first points of the night. One thing about the Wolverines is they do spread the scoring around.
Yeah, and they have 5 scorers on the court really at all times. I mean, everybody here can score. The good thing.
Nice move by Arriaga.
You can't
go to the
can't
hoop.
Live and die by one guy shooting a 3, and being able to spread the ball around and do that works very well. And as we say that, Farrell Curtis drops a 3 ball. About 20 seconds left in the half here.
6-point lead.
6-point lead for Griswold.
Still have another Matson playing Doobie really tough. Nowhere to go with it over to Carchidi. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be just under 5 ticks of the clock for the Wolverines.
Coach Molesky's putting in his 4.9-second play to end this quarter. And funny thing here, Chris Roddy is notorious for for these half-court shots.
And they played a little bocce ball there to end the first. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. Griswold leads 23-17 over Plainfield. Quarter number 2 going to start in a minute. You're listening to high school basketball on SNSN. Welcome back to the Den here at Griswold High School. Thank you very much to GNS Auto Sales and Mercer Monument Works for supporting high school basketball right here on SNSN. All right, quarter number 2. Griswold with the ball. Koziel tried to bounce pass it into C.J. Matson, but it went off of Doobie's foot. Don't think that was intentional. I think that he wanted to get it to Matson to...
Yeah, so they run this little backdoor play.
Cut,
and,
yeah.
The only way the defender can stop it if he gets beat is to stick his foot out, which, gives the ball back to Griswold regardless.
Ball to Roddy. Back to Sims, little give back, then goes to the hoop. No good. They're going to call Carchidi for a foul there.
Not to sound, in favor of Griswold here, but I would say that looked like it was a clean block by Carchidi there. I mean, he did get him from behind, but it looked clean.
It did look clean, too. I was kind of questioning that myself. Mikey puts one up and in.
That's Carchidi's first foul. It's a battle of the 2 fullbacks from this past football season.
Mikey sinks them both. So just to give you an idea, Wolverines has an 8-point lead over the Panthers, and
all from the free throw line.
All from the free throw line. So give you an idea how important that is. Arriaga for a long 3. My God, he shot that from Lisbon.
We've got a 30-second timeout here called by Griswold just to regroup. They, that's a hard shot to defend.
That was an NBA 3.
Yeah, and usually you're not defending too far out past the three-point line. Mm-hmm. You're defending the three-point line, but usually in high school basketball, you're not defending outside the NBA three-point line. Yep. And that was certainly, if you're familiar with the court, he probably could have been, close to the Wolverines' head if you drew a line around. He was probably a good 8 feet behind the high school arc.
Here's a little tidbit about the new SNSN app. We sent out we sent out a notification, a push notification earlier today that you can watch it on YouTube. And all you had to do is just hit that notification, and guess what? Boom, you have video on your phone.
And I got my push today, as a matter of fact. I did. I downloaded the app. I will tell you that, you know what, I'll give you my opinion on it. How about that at our next break?
All right. Nice indoor pass to Mikey Sims, and good. Mikey Sims with 6. Tied with CJ and Chris Roddy for the lead. Again, spreading the scoring around.
Griswold's lead is back up to 7. Griswold's now in a 2-3 zone, trying to spread them out a little bit.
Brady tried to get inside, put it up, no good, but ball bounced out. Going to go back.
So that 2-3 zone will help take away these deep threes, as well a little bit. And of course, they'll switch in and out of zone into man, depending on matchups on the court. That 2-3 zone also gives them the opportunity to double team down in the corner when they dribble down in the corner.
Nice pass out to Carchidi, no good. Mikey Sims comes down with the rebound after it was batted around a little bit. Here come the Wolverines. Quick down pass all day long for Chris Roddy, and he hits.
So Chris is on fire here. I think the other day against Turtle, I think he was the only Wolverine not to score a point. And tonight he's making up for it so far. He's got 8.
He had 20 against Wyndham, right?
He did, yeah. And I think probably 14 of them were layups. I mean, it was a shootout, but it was such a fast game. They couldn't cover him.
Well, the Wolverines have started out the season good. Their only loss was to Suffield, so they've started out 4 out of 5. And they got a 9-point lead here.
Yeah, it's a great start for them. Good hand by CJ.
Roddy looks like he deflected that ball right into the hand of Mikey Sims. Farrow, he's thinking about it. Inside to Mikey Sims. And nice
and
fake. Good.
And one.
Mikey's feeling it.
Pump fake by Mike, and they slapped hands on the way up.
That's on Liam Smith.
Liam Smith, that's his second foul. I think Michael took advantage of a size mismatch down there against Liam. And we got a timeout called here by Plainfield, a full timeout.
All right, and we will go ahead and take a break. You're listening to High School Basketball on SNSN. Welcome back to the den here at Griswold High School. Wolverines have opened up an 11-point lead over the Plainfield Panthers. Thanks for listening to us on SNSN Radio tonight, as well as the SNSN YouTube page, powered by Kyle Gunderman. And, of course, the internal network here at Griswold High School, the GSPN, the Griswold Sports Programming Network. Mikey Sims, 9 points, converts the three-point play.
I think Plainfield's going to find out real quickly. They're going to have to put some size on Mike Sims because it's open season down low for him right now. Rebounding, scoring. They're going to have to get somebody big on him to muscle up.
One thing that I've noticed, Roddy just picked up a foul, by the way.
Yeah, that is Roddy's first foul.
But what I have found out about the Wolverines and watching them is that they're playing in a different fashion this year. They are not picking up a lot of fouls.
No, they're not. They're playing very smart defense. They're using their feet a lot. They're moving around. They're using their athleticism. And of course, I think I can tell you, speaking from experience, because my kid is never home, but they practice a lot.
Yep.
And that really is a key to success. They have a committed group of kids, and Coach Molesky and Coach Adamick and Coach Stringer, they're on top of these guys, getting them working. So that's what it comes down to. You want to be the best, you got to prepare like it.
Mattson just kind of muscles his way in. No good. Roddy up and in. That's Chris Roddy with 10. He's in double figures in the first half. You're right. He said he was on fire.
He's on fire. You got to box him. Nope. Very errant pass recovered by Plainfield, but stepped out of bounds.
Nice Brady. Recovery by Brady, though, because that was a hot pass.
So as I was saying about the app, the SNSN app is awesome for people in the community. they can't get here to games. They can listen to the games. They get the opportunity for YouTube when it's available. I was just telling you, Mike, my parents are going to Florida. My mom's going to be able to listen to the games while she's gone. Nice backdoor pass from Koziel to Matson for 2.
The Panthers haven't been able to figure that play out yet.
And hopefully, the guys and gals doing the broadcasting for you make the listeners feel as if
nice
they
steal.
are at the game.
Nice steal by Roddy. 2 more.
Again, these guys are playing, like you said, Mike, they're playing defense like gnats. I mean, they are on them very tight, very close. They're moving their feet. They can't dribble around them. If somebody gets by, you've got somebody else covering. I mean, Plainfield's trying to move the ball around, and Griswold is just rotating guys covering the ball.
And they've only had 14 fouls.
Yep, and they're not playing sloppy. Now that is a MTV Jock Jams 3 from Lucian Doobie that
Brady.
came up short.
Elijah Brady with the steal. They're going to call a charge on him.
They call a block. They call a block
on Franklin.
Anthony Franklin just got flipped upside down and upended on a drive from Elijah Brady. Was called for a block. Not sure I agree with that call. A little out of control. It was definitely a player control foul on Plainfield. It doesn't always happen to work out that way. But, Brady attacked the hoop very aggressively, and Anthony Franklin was in position to defend, but got called for the foul. Even Coach Molesky is telling him great play. So
Weldy's back into the game for Plainfield. Carchidi, number 24, is going to take a seat. And Brady misses both. However, they get the rebound, and Jalen Fort puts it in.
You got a foul on Mike Sims. That's his. I believe that's his second foul. Second foul on Mike Sims.
But again, it's the 6th team foul.
Yeah, again,
Last year it was a totally different ball game.
Totally different.
I remember tryouts this year at the beginning and watching Coach Molesky, talking to the boys, saying this is what we're going to do this year. We're going to guard with our feet.
Yep, and they are. I mean, they're moving. You've got another quick athlete out there, freshman Lucas Strain. He is out there now in the court along with junior Tyler Green, giving Mikey Sims a blow.
Farrow from the corner, in and out, no good.
Now you're going to have an over-the-back call on Tyler Green there. He was boxed out and tried to use his height to tip the rebound out, but got called for an over-the-back foul.
Just as we're talking about how they've been very economical with fouls.
Correct.
They picked up 3 in the last minute.
And you were in the bonus now, so for the last 3:19 of the half, we're going to be shooting free throws on fouls that are non-player control fouls, of course, but Plainfield's in a one-on-one situation here, and you alluded to it before, Mike. The foul shots are helping Griswold to start, and there's a violation on the shooter. The rim was missed. It actually went off the side of the backboard. They're going to have to make their free throws if they're going to want to get back in this game. Yeah.
Lucas Strain has given them some really good quality minutes off the bench.
He has, and he missed the game this weekend. He was home with a fever, pretty sick, but. That was another Jock Jams 3 from Matson. He was open, but a little hard on the shot. Yeah, and he has definitely contributed some time off the bench. Coach Molesky's been going pretty much with a 7-man rotation, which is keeping these guys fresh. And, you're able to get some continuity out in the court and not subbing, out of control. But
Brett
with
Weldy,
7 guys, it's a nice little rotation.
Brett Weldy was having a hard time, but he kept working on Tyler Green and finally did get the chance to penetrate and put one up and in. 38-25, Wolverines. Is that going to be a 3-point foul?
3-point foul. Farrow Curtis shot the 3 and got...
That's on Weldy, right?
Yes, it is. And got pushed back on his shot. So Farrow's going to be shooting 3.
It's a 9th team foul, but he's going to shoot 3 anyway because he was behind the arc. First one, he's up and good.
So I know, those of you that don't know Farrow, his dad, Isaiah, was a superstar at New London High School back in his day, and I think Farrow probably shoots about 4,000 free throws a month at his house. the kid is just, that's all he does is play basketball.
Mikey Sims back into the game. Chris Roddy back in as well. Lucas Strain and Tyler Green going to take a seat. Here comes number 3 for Farrell Curtis, and he hits 2 out of 3. Farrell's got 7 points tonight. He's got 7 of the 40.
Leads back up to 15.
Lucian Doobie with the ball, trying to. He's having a hard time penetrating all night.
He is. He's getting stopped to drive, one way or the other by Andrew, and then when Andrew passes him off to CJ or Chris, he can't go anywhere there. Like I said, they are playing extremely well on defense.
Nice fadeaway jumper by Abram, but no good. But the Wolverines come back to the ball.
Nice pass from Koziel to Matson. Over to Farrow.
And then look at this. And out to Koziel for 3. No good. They still get the rebound. Matson for 3. No good.
A lot of action there. There was about 3 passes and 3 shots, all in about 10 seconds. So for those of you that missed it, it was a long pass from Koziel to Matson over to Roddy. And
so Roddy got the foul.
Roddy picked up his 2nd foul here.
1:42 to go in the first half. 40-25.
I think you're going to see Lucas coming in for Chris Roddy. Chris has got 2 fouls. I'm sure Coach Molesky doesn't want Chris picking up his 3rd foul of the half. He's one of the kids that speed-wise, you definitely need him. With a 15-point lead, you can you got a little bit of a cushion. The foul shot was missed by Doobie.
Koziel looking for somebody to pass, but looks right, looks left, finally goes left to Matson outside the arc, almost picked off. And a nice, what is that, about a 12-footer right there for Farrell Curtis.
And one. They won. The swish and one.
That one's going to be on Weldy. That's number 3.
So, it's kind of hard.
And he's going to sit down. Carchidi's coming back in.
It's hard to cover two 3-point shooters. Griswold has 2 in Matson and Curtis. And, the other 2 guards, Koziel and Roddy, are also 3-point shooters. You can't cover all 4. And if one is off, the other one is usually on. So it's just a matter of Griswold finding the right hot hand. And right now, Curtis has got a hot hand. Roddy's got a hot hand. Matson's got a hot hand.
Carchidi got double covered underneath by Tyler Green and Koziel, but I think looks like Tyler is going to pick up a foul.
And that's the foul I disagree with, Mike. When you got a kid standing there underneath, straight up with his arms up in the air and not moving, and the offensive player, goes up and leans into him, and they call the foul on the defense. It's one of those things I just don't understand about basketball, but it is what it is, and it looks like the officials are balancing out the fouls here as the half goes on. It's 9 against Griswold and 10 against Plainfield.
Carchidi hits 1 of 2.
1:13 left in the first half.
It's been all Griswold pretty much. A lot of backdoor cuts, a lot of speed. Plainfield's having a hard time deciphering them in the first half. He got away with a walk there, I think.
Yeah, he might have. He got bumped. There was a no call on a potential foul, but they let it go.
Do they let some of those go when they get bumped, knowing that there's really not a lot they can do?
It's
at this level.
There's and they got away with a travel there. There was a travel there on Carchidi. Wasn't picked up, but he was fouled by Tyler Green on the way up, and that's going to be Tyler Green's 3rd foul.
That's 3 quick on him. In limited play. Looks like Roddy's going to go back in.
I'm sure Coach told him, use your head, Chris. Got to be smart.
Chris goes in, and Strain comes out.
Yep. He's more concerned, I think, about Mikey Sims picking up more fouls right now. And, he just told Tyler, hey, you got to use your feet, use your feet.
Carchidi was with 8 off of the bench. Matter of fact, he's the leading scorer for the Panthers. Wolverines looking to penetrate, having a little bit of difficult good coverage there by Bryce Carchidi over to Matson. Down underneath to Tyler Green's going to put it up and no good. He gets his own rebound, but he's going to get fouled. Who are they going to call it on?
We are in the double bonus here regardless. That's called on Lucian Doobie. I think that's Doobie's first, I believe.
First, yeah.
You had a 5'5" Doobie against a 6'5" Green. A little bit of a
mismatch,
size mismatch.
Tyler Green puts it up and gets a shooter's roll. His first point of the ball game. Wolverines by 15, just about the end of the first half, and he hits them both.
Again, free throws, Mike. Free throws.
Yeah.
Very big part of the game.
13 free throw points by the Wolverines in the first half. And they got a 6-point lead. Fundamentals.
Little double dribble there, missed. It's great defense by Griswold. Plainfield can't even get a shot off to end the half. I mean, that's can't complain about that.
All right, we played one half of basketball right here at Griswold High School. 44-28, Wolverines over the Panthers. You're listening to high school basketball right here on SNSN.
subscribing to our we have a Griswold Sports Network page on YouTube, and then I take the Wolverines SNS and radio commentary, and I give a video back to them, so they're also streaming on their YouTube page.
So you kind of combine
Right,
it too.
simulcasting.
Do they have a YouTube?
If you just go to their homepage, I think the video players right here.
Right, this is the last
This is the first basketball game I've done this year. I only do home games because
right.
I can control the network. I did do the play school day game last year at Plainfield, but I spent the game ended up being Wednesday night. So I spent Friday, Monday, and Tuesday after work with them and hanging out with those IT guys trying to make sure I had a good wireless connection and clear. It worked out well. I was a little nervous about it.
This year we're watching someplace football, but we're watching the Philly Wolverines game. That night on YouTube, my son comes running up here, like I'm watching it on the live,
And it was
clarity.
I streamed in high def.
Yeah, so that's what we just saw. I mean, it's Philly game. You know what I'm saying? You have to do it.
I went to school in college in Syracuse, and never really got the need to come to New York, Boston. I'm not that kind of
Way, I mean, California. Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I did interview at ESPN, but it was not a interview to take the first step there. You're a sports fan. Yeah, you're a sports fan. Yeah. When you start out with your nice hold up, and like, I don't think I'm sorry.
You did. Yeah.
So we're about to scout there, and we're like, oh, we need to go get Red Sox. So I realized they want.
You had the questions ahead of time. You would have went in there and killed it. But I get you.
They want someone that knows sports and what people have to do.
Yeah.
So my next best thing is computers. I've been working IT the last 30 years, and I work IT here. And then the last 4 or 5 years, the two fields are merging. All fields being done in computers.
I mean, as parents, why does it work? Because it's just fresh. I went to the football game in high school, like basketball game. I sat home and listened to it. You know, like the most of the day, I didn't want to have
Student food also like they're both sometimes volleyball games for I think both of them. But I don't like the away games because I'm so much. I really like to do like an ECC network and that each school do their own game and have it all through one channel.
Yeah, now you could just go to a one dog. I'm looking at
Kind of like a ECC network, different things we can go. And I was talking to a guy online that I got a lot of friends down south of football. There's one guy that actually
they play year round.
he's got a 40-foot production trailer that he goes to high school games with. He's making a living with it.
Quite imagine.
A number of them are actually getting some of these ESPN Plus. So I reached out to them to find out exactly what they're going to go through again. I'm thinking like maybe our soccer team, research on these in the States, and the guy who knows on ESPN, that hopefully will draw to some students and say, hey, look at my work I was on.
I tell her sometimes on a Friday night, I don't forget what season it is, I'm like, I'm watching high school football. We have high school basketball. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. For these, I mean, it's that region, you know.
Now it's kind of impressive because the IT guy last year I worked with a Plainfield, he's got a job in Norwich Town, where we were talking, they've got the same video on demand server in the school that we have that they were doing out. There's a teacher retired like 3 years ago, they haven't really used it much. Nobody here knows how much it's doing. Like, I really would like to get schools online. That way,
Well, no, but if every program's doing it by themselves, it'd be a great thing. Yeah, you can share it.
exactly. That's what they get for the. I gotta get this part from the students first, and then that's the hard part.
Just a couple of them.
Yeah, my goal is if I had a kid here running the camera down in that corner, like I said, their friends say, what do you do with it? They're interested. They see me, hey, they don't know who I am because I'm a computer guy back in the day, and they may not even know that they look can help with it. You know? So if I get one, I got 2 students that come to my activities, I both one way to have homework, she couldn't tell them whether they come by, but the other orders pizza and that is working. That's nice that I played it.
All right, we are back here at Griswold High School. It's second half action. Live here inside the den, and Plainfield's got the ball, and immediate jump ball. Griswold's got the possession there, so the ball's going to go right to the Wolverines. Hey, why don't you tell us about the comedy show that's coming up?
Yeah, so we got a scholarship fund that was started. It's the Jake Balago Memorial Fund. Jake was a coach up here in Griswold and Jewett City for youth football and baseball, and a very close friend of mine growing up. Unfortunately, he passed away back in 2014 from complications of cystic fibrosis. And myself and Bill Glennie, who is the head soccer coach at Ledyard High School, we started a foundation where we're giving away a scholarship to a graduating senior at Griswold and a graduating senior at Ledyard. And there's a comedy show. It's sponsored by Franco's Comedy for Your Cause. It's actually being held at the Warregan in Norwich on January 18th. And the tickets are $25. The tickets are $25. It is a bring your own beverage event and bring your own food event. 4 outstanding comics. Franco does an unbelievable job securing the comics and organizing the show. We've got raffles. If you're interested in the tickets, you can send Mike a message down at SNSN Radio.
You bet.
And we'll coordinate getting those tickets for you. And
C.J. Matson for 3.
C.J. Matson picks up where he left off with another 3 ball. C.J. had 8 in the first half.
He's in double figures now.
And he is now in double figures with 11.
Him and Chris Roddy.
Chris Roddy had the first half, had 12.
Carchidi for 3. No good. Mikey Sims gives C.J. Matson. Oh, that wasn't. That
I don't know.
was a foul on Lucian Doobie, and I don't want to say it. Do you?
The I word?
I think that was a little obvious.
Yeah. And
intentional?
Yes, sir. That was not called. It's I don't know what to say there.
You know what? Yeah, I know. You know, if one of the Griswold kids would have done something like that, I'd have said the same thing.
And
CJ for 3, get it back, no good. Doobie down with the rebound.
The thing with CJ, you know, he's a quiet kid, but I will tell you this:
he's tough.
He is a extremely tough kid, and you know, he's a running back last 3 years, and he took some beatings in football. He takes some beatings in basketball, and you know, he's only about 5'8", but I'll tell you, he's a tough kid.
Takes after his dad.
Correct. Farrow Curtis with the steal and in for the layup for 2. Farrow's had 9 in the first half, and he had 8 in the first half, right? If I can
so
add
that's
correctly.
3 Wolverines in double figures now.
9. He had 9. Now he has 11. The lead is up to 19. The lead is up to 21 now for Griswold. 49-28. Curtis was fouled before the shot. And again, this is the 3rd time that Curtis was fouled and made the shot. Unfortunately for Griswold, this one was prior to the shot. Plainfield inbounds the ball. Lucian Doobie is at the top, guarded by C.J. Matson. Over to Brady, covered by Koziel. Double teamed by Roddy. Back up top again to Carchidi at the top of the point. Plainfield looks to be trying to slow it down. They're looking to drive to the hoop a little bit. A little bit of contact by Mike Sims there with a no call on a drive by Doobie. Chris Roddy's just going to take it to the hoop. Just almost in and out.
There's Mikey Sims, though. He picks up the rebound, fights it off. CJ again for 3, and no good. Fort comes down with it.
You know, Mike, this is one of those games, you know, the score gets out of control. We hope the players on both teams do stay in control and, you know, understand they got a long season to go here, and everybody keeps their heads. But it's a 21-point lead for Griswold right now.
Farrow's not going to make that one, and it's going to come down.
We had a perfect view on that up here in the
we did.
In the Wolf Den, or the Wolverine Den.
The Wolf Nest. Air ball. by Elijah Brady. Fast down the hoop, to the hoop. Farrell Curtis just kind of chucked it, no good. And
Farrell's got to give that ball up a little bit early instead of trying to do everything by himself there. It's a 4-point swing. It looks like we're going to get a sub here for Griswold in a second by Anthony Franklin. Doesn't look like Coach Milewski was very happy with that play from Farrell, but it's hard to take the game out of the athlete and the player.
Farrell underneath all by himself.
Hard to tell a kid not to go with his instincts in any sport,
Farrell with 13.
Griswold lead is now up to 21, or back up to 21, 51-30. 3:57 left in the third.
The only other stat that I saw that was Jalen Fort going to get called for that one. Oh, no.
That's going to be on Roddy.
That's going to
be Roddy's third foul.
Arriaga's coming in for Plainfield. Franklin's coming in for Farrell Curtis.
You're probably going to see Lucas Strain coming in off the bench here shortly.
Number 14 for Plainfield.
Roddy picked up his third foul with a 20-point lead, 19-point lead. Coach Milewski may be willing to let him ride a little bit. Number 14.
Jalen Fort sinks.
And number 14 for Plainfield is Dan Flanagan, who's checked into the game.
Koziel Franklin, C.J. Matson, Mikey Sims, and Chris Roddy on the floor for the Wolverines. Nice pass into Mikey, but did not want to fall.
You're going to have a push-off foul underneath on Franklin. It's going to be Franklin's third foul. So the fouls are starting to rack up here a little bit on
well, they have three players with three: Chris Roddy, Anthony Franklin, and Tyler Green.
And you got two your key guards with three fouls. So, and that's going to be number 4 possibly on Roddy.
It is. I'm sure he's going to get a seat.
That is number 4 on Chris Roddy. So you're going to see Curtis is going to be checking in right here, and that might put an end to Chris Roddy for a little while. You probably will not see him come back in this quarter. Griswold's missing one of their reserves as well. One of the triplets, Michael Strain, is actually the bug is going through the Strain household. Lucas had it on Saturday, and Michael has it now. Jacob is clear so far, but you're going to see Coach Milewski probably dip into his bench here at some point if the lead continues anyways. But you still have Keith Cady, who's a junior, Kyle Rude, a freshman, and Jacob Strain, another freshman, who have yet to enter the game.
Arriaga sinks 1 of the 2 from the foul line. Nice little floater there by C.J. Matson. 13 for C.J. Arriaga's going to lift one up for 3. No good. Just off the backboard. Reached in a little bit on Farrell Curtis. Ball goes over to Mikey. Down low to Farrell Curtis, drives the lane, comes back out to Mikey in the paint. He's trying to get around Weldy and can't do it, but still puts it up. Anthony Franklin.
There's Anthony Franklin's athleticism coming in from the top of the key and ripping the rebound down between 3 guys and getting fouled on his way up.
That's going to be Flanagan's first foul.
Anthony's going to give you everything he's got. He didn't play basketball the last 2 years, unfortunately, but he's making up for lost time now.
He missed the first one. So he strained back in for Curtis. Mikey Sims going to take a seat. Tyler Green comes back into the ball game. And he misses them both.
They're going to have an over the back on Tyler Green. He got boxed out. He's trying to use his height advantage over the top.
That's his 4th.
That's his 4th foul, and a couple of them are kind of his own fault. It's very preventable fouls. And you got Mike Sims checking back into the game now because Tyler has 4, and you got Farrell Curtis going to be checking back into the game here. Could be coming in for Anthony Franklin because he has 3.
We're going to see how deep the bench is tonight, maybe.
Yeah, and fortunately for Griswold, they got a 19-point lead here.
16.
Now it's 16 on a
Doobie.
three by Doobie.
And that's his first. Those are his first points of the ball game. He didn't score at all in the first half. Franklin, little
Again,
heave.
yeah, drive into the hoop, lost his balance, threw it up, got his rebound, got fouled. He's going back to the foul line again.
Yep. Smart. He's a smart player, it seems like.
He is. The kid tries. He's a very he's an athlete. There's no doubt. I mean, he's somebody that you want to have on your side. He actually got named captain of the football team next year, and he's coming along.
That's Weldy's fourth. He's going to take a seat.
Got to make his free throws though. Got to make free throws. Oh, you got Roddy. Oh, Roddy went to the bench and was waved back. There's 2:06 left in the third, Chris, not in the game.
Franklin sinks one of them. 1 out of 2 on that possession.
That puts the lead back up to 17 for Griswold. One of the things I think that Plainfield's missing that they've had the last few years is that shooter. They had Markeith Conyers last year. The kid was a very big, athletic basketball player, could score really from anywhere on the court.
Very large personality, too.
They that's the one thing that they're missing. They're missing that shooter. Griswold, fortunately, there's quite a few shooters on the court, but they're not the same team that they have been over the last few years.
The only guy that's got a little bit of size, maybe as far as bulk is concerned, is probably Carchidi, who can shoot the three, and that's the only person I can see that's been able to really.
Yeah, and Carchidi, he's a hell of a fullback. He's a hell of a basketball player, and the kid can play baseball. He's a pitcher, and he brings the heat.
And you notice they've shut down Connor Abram, too.
Yep, they have. It's got a double dribble.
Double dribble on Andrew Koziel.
He
smiles and says, "Here you go."
Yeah, they again they're missing that that pure shooter. They're missing that C.J. Matson, and I think that Abram, is it Abram or is it?
Yeah,
he's
Connor Abram.
Connor Abram. He's one of their shooters, I think, but.
Flanagan, no good. Doobie puts one up, no good, and Doobie puts the second one up.
Doobie's down there. Well, errant turnover, not paying attention, throwing the ball in bounds. And the lead is now cut to 13.
Is that Doobie again?
Arriaga stole the inbounds pass. Again, we gotta use our heads here a little bit. 13-point lead. We don't want to get this to under 10 to start the fourth quarter because that's usually what happens. You get yourselves into some trouble here. First free throw is missed by Koziel.
As Dad shakes his head.
As we talked about making free throws the whole game.
Well, he's made 4 in a row. I mean, so he's 4 out of 5. Make it 5 out of 6.
No dinner for you tonight, kid.
Straight to bed.
Yeah, straight to Fortnite, right? Yeah. All right, so now they're getting into the chicken, what fouls, and the game is going to slow itself down a little bit here. We're going to be shooting free throws.
That's Farrow's first, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that is Farrow's first foul.
Arriaga with the ball. Dribbles right, no good. Puts up the
Molesky's
pass.
going to be calling for last shot here. He's going to be calling time to score. So there's 16 seconds left. Curtis is at the top of the key. Foul is on the floor. It's going to be it's going to be on Arriaga. It's going to be Plainfield's 6th team foul. So Griswold's going to inbounds the ball with 10.2 seconds left.
Well, I think I kind of jinxed him a little bit because towards the end of the second half, or the first half, I was talking about how Griswold has done such a great job with fouls. One more, he's not going to get the shot off.
Good defense by Matson. Got plowed over with no call, and then Cozio smacked the ball out of Liam Smith's hand. No shot again. That's the second quarter in a row Plainfield hasn't gotten a shot off at the end. And again, it's good defense by Plainfield. Or by Griswold, my apologies.
All right, we have played 3. Going to go to the fourth quarter. Griswold leads 55-41. Plainfield creeping back in just a little bit. We'll see what happens in the fourth quarter. You're listening to High School Basketball on SNSN. Ted had enough of me. And we're back here at Griswold High School.
I found a way to turn Mike Minarski off.
Thank God somebody has, because I'm tired today.
There's this little button that you just turn main. It turns everyone off. I thought it turned just me off. It turns Mike off as well. Well, Mike is going to file a complaint with ownership, and you know, maybe this won't be my last game. Who knows?
I don't know. The guy that owns the SNSN, he's a kind of jerk, so I'm going to
We're
stay
gonna-
away from him.
There's going to be a contract dispute here pretty soon. I'm going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
Doobie for 3, no good. You have to get a hold of HR, and it's just a big paperwork hassle. Overhead pass to Franklin, and he's going to kick it back out to Mikey Sims. A little pass top of the key to Cozio. Was being guarded by Doobie. Over to C.J. Madsen, who's built like a truck.
Solid kid. There's no doubt. Solid kid.
Cozio for 3, and count it. Cozio has 8.
So that's the last 2 games. That's where he's been scoring, is in the fourth quarter. Well, actually, not the last game. Unfortunately, the varsity didn't play much against Turtelot, but they travel there called
Arriaga.
by Arriaga. Shifted his feet trying to put a move on Franklin.
Arriaga. Kid's got perfect hair.
Yeah, he does.
He's got perfect hair.
Yeah, it's almost like the old 80s Scott Baio type of
No, it's
type of
cool.
look.
Wolverines with the ball. Franklin kind of loses possession of it, but he stepped on the line and tried to get the ball passed out to Farrell Curtis. However, he did step on the line. Back to Plainfield. Liam Smith inbounds it to Arriaga, who plays a lot of minutes for coming off the bench.
Yeah, exactly. And even with Carchidi, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think Carchidi is playing more minutes than normal because Weldy's got 4 fouls on him.
Yeah, very true, yep.
Doobie for 2. Doobie has done nothing but score in the second half. He didn't get any in the first half. He's got 7. Ball gets away from Farrell Curtis. They're going to call it travel. Yeah.
Second, he rolled over on his back. They'll blow the foul, or they'll blow the whistle for a travel. Usually you hear Coach Molesky screaming for a timeout. You know, in a 2-point game, I think that's happening.
Yeah.
15-point game right now. Not yet. A lot of picks being set. It's a 3-ball by Arriaga. Plainfield chipping into the lead, and a turnover from Griswold. Curtis overthrew Matson, and now you get the Molesky timeout with 6:04 left in the fourth. 58-46 Griswold.
Yeah, they're trying to chip away. 58-46 Griswold. You're listening to high school basketball on SNSN. Welcome back to Griswold High School. 58-46, 6 minutes to go in the game. It's been pretty much all Griswold, but Plainfield is creeping up there. Carchidi puts one up, no good. And the ball's being chased around. Arriaga comes up with it. Looks like he loses control of the ball.
Loose ball foul on Andrew Kozio. That's his second. Team's 7th. Going to be in a one-on-one situation. Arriaga is going to go to the line and shoot one.
This happened with Killingly last week.
It did, yeah, it did. It did. You know,
They came on real strong. I'm talking about Plainfield.
Yeah, unfortunately right now, you know, Plainfield are killing their
Travel.
another travel by Curtis. Plainfield's not making the free throws to chip into the lead, but there's still a lot of time left in this game. It's 5:34 left.
Yeah.
And
you never want to count out Bobby Ermoy.
no. And the thing is, now you're gonna have to cover their shooters. They got Jalen Fort, who can shoot deep. He's been kind of playing down low a little bit more today, but you've got to lock these guys down.
Arriaga's going to lead to another three, and he hit it. And a quick timeout by Plainfield. Here come the Panthers all of a sudden.
Dipping into that lead, it's now down to 9 with 5:12 left. You got a 30-second timeout here called by Griswold.
That's 14 for Arriaga. And the lead is, as you just said, 9.
And again, this is Griswold Plainfield. You know, it's neither team is going to quit. Neither team is going to take their foot off the throat if they get an opportunity to do that. And you have to play all 32 minutes of this game. You can't take a single second off. And I think that's what Coach Molesky's telling his guys right now. Hey, let's wake up. You know, he's got 4 seniors out on the court, and junior and Anthony Franklin. You know, he's got Roddy out there. He's all done, leaving him on the bench with 5:12 left with 4 fouls. You know, got to play smart, and
They get the ball in.
Yep. Franklin will bring the ball up.
Reach in by Doobie.
Franklin's going to be shooting one-on-one here. 5:06 left. I think you're going to see the game slow down quite substantially now with fouls coming.
This was a 21-point lead.
Yes, it was. You know,
and Plainfield's just been chopping away.
It was 16 points at the half.
Franklin misses it, and Plainfield's got the ball. Somebody sinks a 3 here. It's a brand new ball game. Ball stolen by Franklin. There's that speed for you. He's going to get bumped by Arriaga.
See, and the problem that you have here with Arriaga, and he made a heck of an athletic play to catch up to Franklin, is when you lead and try to reach with that front arm, your body slams into the other person. You know, in that situation, you really have no choice. It's either you let him go or you foul him. And, Franklin's going to be going to the line shooting too because of the foul. But, you know, right now, Anthony's he's struggling from the free throw line a little bit. But
Anthony has only made 1.
I think he's 1 of 5 or 1 of 6 at this point.
I think you're at 1 of 6, actually.
And, these free throws are going to be key down the stretch.
And he hits the second one.
So, I mean, you pick up a foul on Plainfield. But,
the lead is 10. Doobie, no good. And they had 2 people all over Andrew Koziel. And it looks like Doobie is going to pick up number 4.
And you can see the Griswold crowd here. The student section's getting a little bit rowdy. And, there's this bitter rivalry between the two. And
Connor Abrams going to come in, and Doobie's going to take a seat. And that might hurt him.
Yes. I mean, Doobie's their point guard. He's their leader. I mean, the kid is playing up, down, and around the whole court today. Up high, down low. He's ripping rebounds. He's assisting on baskets. He's your floor general, and yeah, you're right. It will hurt them.
Koziel misses the first end of the 1-and-1. Looks like Arriaga's going to be your point. Quick one over to Smith to Carchidi underneath. Puts it up. No good. Fort up and in.
I mean, they look for a foul. You know, it's hard when you're down low, standing up. It's hard to call that foul. And if it was called, that would have been 5 on Roddy. But fortunately, he might have gotten away with one. I think Anthony got away with a carry there. But again, a hard drive to the hoop by Anthony Franklin. You know, it's Plainfield cuts it to 8. Griswold pumps it back up to 10.
61-51. Plainfield trying to, and it's stolen by Koziel. Going to get it over, trying to get it to somebody. It's going to get it over to Anthony Franklin. And they're going to go across and try to set it up as Franklin just got to go ahead and he gets it stripped away from him.
Yeah, and that's a play there. Anthony should have kicked it out, and they should have reset the offense there. But, you know, I understand the aggression, but, you know, you gotta think smart here with a 10-point lead and, you know, momentum kind of on Plainfield's side.
That's right, and it's going to continue. Abram
drives to the hoop.
Hasn't scored since the first quarter. They've shut him down.
Farrell Curtis is going to be checking in here. I think you're going to see 5 seniors on the court here to try to put this game away, but leads down to 8 points.
Roddy's playing with 4 fouls and misses the layup. Fort comes down with it, gets it over to Arriaga. 8-point lead from the Wolverines.
C.J. Matson's been awfully quiet here, and I think you're going to see something coming here for C.J.
Abram, no good. Underneath with the layup. Wolverines slowing it down just a little bit. Under 3 to go. Ball is thrown away by the Wolverines. Tried to bounce pass it to C.J. Matson off the hand of Koziel. Panthers get another shot.
Andrew was looking backdoor for C.J. there. I think C.J. kicked it out and ball went through. 2:55 left here, Mike. 8-point lead for Griswold. You can feel the intensity starting to pick up in the gym here.
Arriaga from the corner, no good. Matson comes down with the rebound. He's going to push it up hard. On over to Franklin, went behind him.
And that ball looked like it was tipped out of bounds by Plainfield there, but was not seen by the official. Plainfield will take the ball over here. 2:40 left.
It's another chance for Plainfield to go ahead and get in, but they're going to call a travel on Arriaga.
That's the old shifty, the 2 feet when you pump fake. You got a timeout for Griswold here.
All right, we got a timeout on the floor.
Got a full timeout here, so.
We're going to take a break, too. 2:26 left to go in the game. It was 21 points, not anymore. It's only an 8-point game. Plenty of time for Plainfield to bring it on in. 61-53. Griswold in the lead. You're listening to Wolverines and Panthers High School Basketball on SNSN. Welcome back to Griswold High School, everyone. Mike Monarski, Ted Koziel. We're down to the crunch now. Wolverines trying to inbound the ball.
Got a foul here, I think, on number 3. Arriaga.
That's 4.
2:26 left. I mean, I think you're going to see Doobie come back in this game pretty soon. You got 4 on Arriaga, 4 on Doobie.
Anthony Franklin trying to pass it in, batted away by Arriaga. Mikey Sims gets the ball, switches it over to C.J. Matson. Looking for somebody to give it to. Roddy playing with 4 fouls.
You're going to see him go corners here. I think they're going to try to kill some time, spread it out a little bit.
Mikey Sims, nice little touch from Mike.
That's Michael's first 2 points of the second half after a hot first half.
He has 11. I thought Abram was going to take that. Arriaga to the right of the top of the key, trying to get it to Jalen Ford, but Jalen Ford was going left, the ball was going right, it goes out of bounds. 10-point lead once again for the Wolverines.
Plainfield's in full court press here.
Bounce pass into C.J. Matson, watched by Abram. He's going to get past him, get over the timeline. And looks like he's going to go all the way to the hoop. A little give and go to Mikey. No. Over to Chris Roddy, and they're going to burn a little clock here.
They're going to try to kill a little time. 10-point lead here. They're going to have to get some free throw shooters here out on the court, and there's no reason for them to force anything. Plainfield's going to have to.
Nice little pick there by Mikey Sims, and no good. I don't think they needed to shoot that, though. But they get the ball back.
They're going to come out and foul Chris Roddy here right away. I can't imagine that they're not going to try to steal the ball. I mean, you got a minute 10 left, down by 10. No shot clock here in Connecticut high school basketball, so they could dribble this game right out, Mike.
And we are now under a minute. Farrell Curtis out to Franklin. They're just going to play catch. And finally, Arriaga, they called a jump ball, and that is Wolverine possession.
You got Koziel checking in for Curtis.
That was close because that could have been Arriaga's fifth foul. .3 to go. Inbound to Mikey from Franklin. Franklin gets the ball back, gives it to Andrew Koziel. He's going to get fouled by Abram.
Griswold's now in the double bonus. There's going to be 2 free throws here. Again, we go back to these games, Mike, close games. Free throws have to be made.
Eight points for Koziel. Could be the 4th Wolverine in double figures, but he misses the first, so it won't be on this this attempt at the free throw line. It's okay, Dad.
Yeah, you got to finish your free throws high. There you go. But you got to make them too. Second one, you got to make the free throws here.
Abram for 3 and hits. Oh, excuse me, that was Elijah Brady. And Plainfield's going to get a quick timeout, and so are we. 63.
30-second timeout.
Wow. 63-56, listening to Wolverines basketball on Plainfield, Panther basketball on SNSN. And welcome back to Griswold High School Inside the Den. Mike Minarski and Ted Koziel. I want to thank you very much to Mercer Monument Works for supporting high school basketball. Big Panther fans over there at Mercer Monuments. And of course, before that, GNS Auto Sales. Patrick Strain. Dollar Dollar. It's one of the ads.
Dollar Billio?
Yeah. Okay, the ball's inbounded. Arriaga, he doesn't want to foul.
And you're not going to have any choice, though.
And Jalen Fort is going to get...
Yeah, he's not even going for the ball there, but
yeah.
CJ's up in the air and his hands are on him, and get 31.3 seconds left. Shooter at the line in CJ Matson. That's Fort's first foul.
Yeah, he's got fouls to give.
Plenty to give. Griswold in a double bonus here. They get 2 free throws coming up.
And here is CJ. And first one is up and good. CJ with 13.
I think he has 14, Mike.
Did I add wrong?
Yeah.
Or is that number 14?
That was 15, I think.
Oh, all right. Let's see.
I could be wrong.
No, you are absolutely right. He's got 15. They are playing very hard against the Panthers.
And that was called a jump ball, and it should have been a foul, but Michael outmuscled Arriaga on that ball. I'll tell you, that Arriaga kid, he's a competitor.
Yeah.
He's a scrappy little kid, and
perfect hair.
Yeah, perfect hair. But he knows what this game's all about. One thing you see is Doobie has not left the bench since he picked up his 4th foul.
They just let Fort go to the hoop with that.
And it looks like Coach Aramoni's. I was going to say he was not going to foul. It's a 7-point lead for Griswold, and Matson was fouled. 6.8 seconds left, and unless there's Reggie Miller on Plainfield's team that can score the 7 points in 13 seconds, I think this is over.
First one is no good by C.J. Matson.
Remember that game against Reggie Miller against the Knicks? I think he scored 7 or 8 or 9 points in 13 seconds.
13 seconds. Kept stealing the ball.
Yeah, just amazing. Unlike C.J. Matson to miss 2 free throws, and now Griswold's just going to just let it ride.
That's it.
And that's a wrap.
Arriaga put up a 3. It didn't fall for him, unfortunately. And that's the ball game. Griswold comes up on top, 65-58. We'll be back in a minute to recap this on SNSN Streaming News Sports Network.
Your few or my few? Hey, Coach. Hey, Rob. You're Mikey? As soon as you come back.
Welcome back to the den at Griswold High School, everybody. Mike Minarski and Ted Koziel saw a pretty good game, and I'll tell you, Plainfield did the same thing in Killingly. They really narrowed the gap in the second half. They did the same thing tonight to Griswold. Griswold had a 21-point lead, and Ted, they brought it down to a 7-point deficit at the end of the ball game.
Yeah, and Griswold did the same thing. They let a team back in the fourth quarter. Down the stretch here, you start to get more competitive, and I know these boys' goal is to play, and I think every team's goal is to, and I can speak specifically for Griswold and Plainfield. Their goal is to play at Mohegan Sun at the end of the year in that ECC championship game, and you got to be able to seal the deal at the end of the game to get there. That includes making free throws, playing defense, not letting teams back in the game, controlling the ball. I mean, it's all aspects of the game of basketball that you have to keep with you for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, and they were up 21 at the half, but then Plainfield, they just kept chipping away, and who knows if these were 12-minute quarters, who knows what would have happened?
Who knows?
Because
you had some guys getting in foul trouble, I think, from both teams, and
well, Plainfield outscored Griswold 26-20 in the second half. So
yeah, and I mean, and of course, that doesn't seem like a lot, but I think it was a lot closer, or Plainfield seemed a little bit more dominant at times than Griswold did in the second half. But, you got 2 great coaches here in Coach Molesky and Coach Aramoni, and, they know how to coach the games down the stretch.
Absolutely. As far as Plainfield is concerned, Jalen Arriaga, good game for the kid. You're absolutely right. He's very, very scrappy. He's not a big kid. But he did lead the Panthers tonight with 14, and Jalen Fort had 12 for the Panthers. On the Wolverines side, C.J. Matson led the team with 15. Farrell Curtis had 13. Chris Roddy had 12, and Mikey Sims had 11. And so another game with 4 players in double figures.
Impressive.
That seems to be every game now.
Yeah, we talked about balanced scoring, and that's what Griswold got tonight.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and in a minute we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Mike Sims from the Wolverines. Keep it right here. It's SNSN. Hi.
Welcome back to SNSN Radio with our post-game interview with starting center Michael Sims of Griswold. Mike had 11 points tonight, started losing track of rebounds once he hit the 10-point. But Mike, heck of a game tonight. Congratulations on a big win over Plainfield.
Thank you.
So what was it like to renew this rivalry with Plainfield with football season just ending with a 7-6 victory over them on Thanksgiving?
We came in knowing it was going to be a tough game. Rivalry. Wow. It's always competitive between us. The game's never over, as you can saw. They came back right away. We're physical with each other, and we get a little scrappy sometimes. But that's just how it goes with us.
One of the things tonight, you had a matchup against Carchidi down low, and he's a junior, and of course the last 3 years in the football rivalry, and even in basketball, you've played against him. So any words exchanged down low in the trenches with him tonight?
Oh, of course. Has to be. We love competing against each other. We're both big guys from, different schools. We always compete against each other. We all, we congratulate each other afterwards. It's just, I love competing against them. It's nice.
And I think there's a lot of mutual respect between the two schools and the players. Having witnessed to the captain's breakfast during football season where you guys sat across the table from each other, it looked like a WWF wrestling stare down, like you guys had nothing to say to each other. But I think when you guys are on the field and on the court, and I think, of course, being the competitors that you guys all are, it's win first and friendship second. But the good thing is it's nice to see this group. There's no disrespect, amongst you guys. I think you guys are all good sports about it, and I'm sure they want to get another shot at you at the end of the year, the last game of the season at Plainfield. I don't know. How do you feel about your team's start right now at 5-1?
It could be 6-0, but we have to get back on track. This game's just any other. Next week's just any other. We have to just keep going one game at a time, and we're looking for big things this year.
So I'll ask you. You got a favorite listener out there tonight in Grandpa Sims. You got anything you'd like to say to your grandfather while you got the mic?
Hi, Jesse.
He's a big listener out here on SNSN Radio.
Yep.
Mr. Sims. He's been a supporter of his 3 grandsons for quite some time, and it's nice to see. And I was telling Mr. Minarski earlier that the service that SNSN Radio provides to the community is just awesome. Between covering basketball and baseball and softball and football. For the folks that either aren't able to attend for one reason or another, we try to make that game, the games feel like they're actually, sitting in the stands and watching. So, it's nice to see that you had a nice game today, and hopefully your grandfather's proud of you. I know, we're all proud of you. And
he always asking me, like, when's your next game? I want to listen to it.
I know and now he's streaming live.
Yeah.
We're streaming live on YouTube and SNSN Radio tonight.
Wave to him right now. He's probably watching it.
He might even be able to see you right through that camera right there. Anything else you'd like to say, Mike?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on
a
win.
Thank you.
Make sure you drive home slow and safe.
Of course.
And we'll see you next game.
See you.
Take care.
Take care.
That was Mike Sims, Griswold starting center, who ended up with 11 points tonight in a game that ended up being much closer than it started off.
Yeah. The first half was, it was teetering back between, 18, 20-point lead was going back and forth and stuff. And coming in the second half, Plainfield just kept chipping away. And I know I use that same term a lot, but they weren't going away. And you're right, they don't really have, the big shooter like they had Conyers.
Yep.
The last couple of years, and they don't have like the big personality, to kind of pump them up and stuff like that.
And they have, the thing that they do have is they have athletes, and speed kills. There's that saying, speed kills, athleticism kills.
Yeah.
And when you take somebody or a group of kids that have speed and determination and athletic ability, and you put them under a coach like Coach Aramoni, he can make something out of nothing. And it's not that he has nothing, but, he can change his coaching techniques to the different style or the different players that he has year in and year out. And Coach Molesky does the same exact thing.
He's got some good players. I mean, I was really impressed with Arriaga tonight.
Yeah, he had a heck of a game.
Yeah. Very, very fast, very, very quick. Could shoot the three, could penetrate, scrappy as all hell. He could go to the hoop. He had no fear whatsoever.
And I think you're going to see at the end of the year, Griswold's last game is against Plainfield at the end of the year. I think you're going to see a very close game again in the rematch.
It might even be closer because, they're going to have a full season underneath their belt, and they're going to play. They're going to fine-tune their game, and they're going to have 19 games under their belt, and
it's a matter of when a team peaks.
Exactly.
Are you going to peak early? Are you going to peak late? Most coaches will tell you, obviously in basketball, you want to be peaking towards the end of the season as you get into the postseason and the playoffs, and hopefully for both teams that's what happens, and it'll be a competitive game at the end of the year.
Well, one of the things I was looking at the CIAC rankings, and again, different than the ECC, but Plainfield is Division III, Griswold's Division 4. I believe they were number 7.
Griswold.
And they were Griswold, yeah, and they were
With
only
one loss.
Right, and they're only one tick below Suffield.
Correct.
So
And tonight now moving up to 5-1 in the season. You've got Fitch obviously at 7-0, which they scrimmage in the preseason, and Fitch is a very fast, athletic team. Canton, who is 6-0, SMSA, which is an academy up near Hartford, I believe. They are 5-0.
it's a correct school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a correct school.
Yeah.
Massac is 4-0, and
Who?
Massac out of Monroe.
Oh, I didn't.
Aerospace, which is another kind of
Yeah.
magnet school, is 3-0, and actually they're the defending champions out of the Division 5 from last year, I believe.
Oh, was I saying 4? I'm sorry.
Ellington and Cromwell. So with the win, Griswold is actually. It looks like they're moving up into the 6th spot right now. So
Will that move them up, because they beat a Division 3 team?
yeah, so it's a little different from football. This is basically done just strictly on record. So they rank you out for the 20 games, and there's a tiebreaker in there if you end up with the same number of wins. If you have identical records at say 15-5, they use a PowerPoint situation in basketball, which is the equivalent of football, but it's the number of wins of your opponents, I think, throughout the season. So it's the CIEC has a formula that they do for every sport. But again, it's early. We're 6 games into the season, but this is a big ECC.
Yeah, but before you know it, half the season's going to be
Correct. Yeah, and this is a big ECC divisional win for Griswold. Keeps them at the top of the standings right now. And
Well, yeah, they've beat Plainfield now. They've beat Killingly.
Yep, they've beat Plainfield. They've beat Killingly. They have a matchup with St. Bernard's coming up on the 20th.
That'll be tough.
Which is going to be a big game. The winner of that will obviously be in the driver's seat. But, like anything, like I was saying about Wyndham before, Wyndham's 0-6 right now. And they are a great team. They are athletic. They are quick. They'll shoot the gym out. And, a team like Wyndham could creep up on you at the end of the year if you're not taking them seriously. And it could give you a divisional loss, which could hurt.
So one of the things, and I know, and this is the last question I'll ask you, just because it's nice to have you here because I can really pick your brain a little bit, and just it makes me a lot more knowledgeable working with somebody like you. Griswold is playing small. I mean, they don't really have a lot of big kids. Tyler Green's the biggest kid on the squad. He's 6'4", 6'5". As far as juniors, he's a junior. The five seniors that are out there starting the game, they're small. They're really all guards. They're fast. Are they overachieving?
I don't think they're overachieving personally. My honest opinion, I think right now they're underachieving. As I alluded to before, they were 38-2 of the JV for their first 2 years. You've got some 2 phenomenal 3-point shooters in Curtis and CJ Matson. You've got this outstanding, just flashy, speedy guard in Chris Roddy.
Franklin.
Anthony Franklin's another one as a junior who's just scrappy and going to fill in. You've got Andrew Koziel who's running the point this year instead of Pharaoh Curtis, where he's trying to distribute the ball to the shooters, and he's your most sizable guard. But you've got 5 seniors, and you're looking at Mikey Sims, and I think that those 5 guys alone, I mean, they got a core nucleus of 5 seniors. And they're bringing the freshmen along. So there's 9 freshmen on this program. And, that's the future of Griswold basketball. And, it as much as it's their responsibility to get through this season, they know they also need to, keep the well full. And they're working with them. And there's a great group of freshmen coming up. And this is why I don't think they're overachieving right now. I still think they're underachieving. These guys, watching them for 4 years, the faster you get them to run and the more they run, the better they are. If you put the brakes on them, it's not always the best thing for them.
Well, I don't know how much faster you can get the strain triplets to run. So, 3 freshmen, I mean, what's going to happen in their junior and senior year. What's this program going to be like then?
Yep. I mean,
So it's a
personally,
very exciting time.
watching those boys grow up, I mean, they're close family friends of mine, and just seeing them in their athletic career, it's an achievement. They have great things ahead of them. But again, a team sport. You need 5 guys on the court.
Right.
So the 3 of them could be the best around, but you need to make sure you have the other 2 spots, and that's where they're developing some other kids. And next year you'll have a big guy in Tyler Green. You're going to have Anthony Franklin there that will probably be starting. And who knows? I mean, it'll be a different mix.
Patrick Strain.
But yeah, Jacob Lucas and Michael.
Yeah,
it'll be a different mix of kids. But again, it's things are very cyclical in all sports. I think Griswold's schedule really lays out very nicely for them. The only thing that has to be avoided that happened to them a couple years back was the sickness. And if you remember, Griswold had a stretch where I think they had like 2 starters missing, 3 starters missing for 5 or 6 games. And, it put them back into kind of that 12-8 scenario at the state, which puts you playing the number 1 seed almost right away. They need to make sure that they're taking care of themselves and that they stay healthy and not be in that 12-8, 11-9 situation. I mean, they have an opportunity really to go, 17-3, 18-2, who knows?
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for us tonight, Ted. Thank you very much for giving us all your knowledge and everything. It was great listening to you and getting a chance to work a game with you. So.
Same here, Mike.
All right, so your final score tonight, Griswold goes to 5-1 on the young season. It is still relatively young, even though we're about 35% with the season gone already. But before you know it, it'll be over.
It'll be over.
Snap. 65-58 is your final score. Griswold defeats Plainfield in an ECC matchup right here at Griswold High School. For Ted Koziel, I'm Mike Benarski. Have yourself a great night, everyone.
Enjoy the snow.
Is it coming?
It's snowing now.
Oh, man. And we're still on the air. Let's just talk about the snow.
Yeah.
Nah, we out.